I must say that this is one of the grandest display of heavy bloomers and a fragrant plant, not forgetting the rich colors of 3-in-1 multi-petaled clusters. I'm James David and welcome to Garden Chronicles. Today I'll be talking about this famous plant known as Rangoon Creeper Vine. Here in this video I'll be showing a timeline of the plant blooms progression from buds to the full bloom. Also some pointers and some fun facts about this particular plant and all these characteristics of plant care and growth. So stick with me and join the fun. Some basics on this Rangoon Creeper Vine, botanically known as Combretum indicum or Quisqualis indica. It has many local names and also indicating with different names according to different countries, considering its popularity and plant usage. As you can see in this picture, I'm showing how I started off, where I actually have done a heavy pruning on this plant. This is actually a main vine, sort of you can say a kind of a trunk that you can consider. It is actually a fast growing plant and will start out to bloom within 1 month of heavy pruning. And so you can see the progression of it in this video. Of course, also there is something else. With the right conditions are met, especially good sunlight, watering and well-balanced fertilizer to ensure a good, optimum, well-balanced growth. After a few weeks, you will notice that the new shoots will give out these red tones on the leaves. And these small tiny pieces are actually flower buds. So do take note not to trim them off accidentally, because this is where the flower bunches comes from here. This is considered as a vining plant and it has this cascading effect. However, it requires some support. Actually, a very strong support is necessary so it doesn't fall over under its own weight. And most often the flowers do become top heavy and the plant can topple over. Here I'm actually showing you the trunk where, if you can notice, there is some kind of spine and thorn-like feature upon this. This is one of the characteristics of Rangoon Creeper Vine. There is also a wilder version where the thorns or the spine is far more evident and mean looking. So do look out for the ornamental type where it is less or non-thorn-like. I must say, look out for a big leaf variety, because I found that there are also another variety which is of a smaller leaf size. And one of the things here is that if you want a bigger showy kind of a flower structure, go for the leaves that has a bigger structure. One of the most interesting fact about this Rangoon Creeper Vine, it is its popularity. It is found throughout Asia, Africa and throughout Indian region, and it's a very versatile tropical plant. However, it requires bright sunlight for it to bloom. You can grow this indoors or in shaded condition, but it will not bloom properly. Hence, it requires good bright sunlight, at least for a few hours of direct hot sunlight to ensure good blooming cycle. As I mentioned earlier, it is actually a fast growing plant, and one of the things about this is this particular vine, they tend to branch out and they seems to be able to grow out of control. So keeping them trim and neat and proper is very important, because if you allow the vines to grow everywhere, it will actually discount on the blooming. So do keep the just as in one trunk and allow them to bloom in one single place. You can also see the side of this main trunk, there will be some elements like filaments coming out from the trunk. This is one of the characteristics of it, so there's no need to be worried about that. I can show you to here. Actually, this actually have grown into this pot and the roots has gone all over down to the soil. So this is how I actually started it. And here actually I'm showing to you where I collect my rainwater from this rainwater downpipe coming from the roof collection. Coming back to this heavy and vigorous growing plant, it is also known as an invasive plant, especially in Australia. Hence, a lot of check and control is required if this is not a native plant in your region. As you can see here, this plant has a huge cascading pendant-like feature. Hence, do give a proper space for it to grow. It will not do very well in tight spaces or small areas. As I mentioned, it most likely not an indoor plant, and so therefore do take note about it. Here actually trimmed off a little bit of the growth because it's already touching the ground. It's about a week later after I've taken the earlier video. You can actually see the flower buds, the formation of it coming from here. You can see the red burgundy tones are very much more visible now, and also the flower buds are also very prominent and showy. It'll take another few more weeks for the full bloom formation to take place. I'm actually speeding up the video here to show to you how's the formation of the flower bud. You can see that from the single small dot, the white buds are actually in formation. Here is actually the progress growth of how it appears to be. So I just want to make a quick preview on this so that you can actually follow up on the growth progress. Variety is known as a multi-petaled variety, where the buds are actually in white, and as it first blooms it turns to pink, and once fully matures it turns to red. This is the formation of the first blooms. There are a few varieties, however, the most common ones that are cultivated are often the multi-petal variety, and also where it comes with three colors, which is turns from the white, pink to red. You can see the red formation here. There is another particular variety known as a single petal variety, where it also have the three tones. Also there's another one which only has one tone, which will be in red. However, there are also I've come across that's a non-fragrant variety. So do be concerned and pay attention to this, because you don't want to cultivate something which is not of your taste or requirement, and you don't want to regret later after cultivating when the plant has grown very big. After a month plus of pruning, this is a glorious full bloom clusters of flowers, which I think You can see it's marvelously beautiful. I had before 3 different flowering wine plants here, a chalice wine and a maiden jealousy, and together with a trailing begonia. However, I found that this was very overwhelming, so I've just focused on just keeping 2 plants here, and hence focusing on this Rangoon Creeper Vine in this place. It seems to be very ideal and able to give me optimum flowering growth, which I actually loved and like. Talking about fragrant plants, I have not found any information concerning this one on sacred flowers or any taboo or inauspicious flowers. However, according to Feng Shui belief, the profusely flowering pendulous parts are considered highly auspicious because of the flowers resembling red lanterns, and also highly prized for their yang energy. Often lanterns are hung around the home to welcome the Chinese New Year and herald good fortunes, hence the blooms are regarded as a symbol of good tidings. Rangoon Creeper Vine being a nocturnal plant, I just want to show to you a video when it's taken in the night, and I've noticed that the flower buds seems to be blooming and it's in full white in color. I noticed that being a nocturnal plant, I believe that is actually attracting night dwelling creatures, especially hawk moth or perhaps some other moths which may be attracting due to the high fragrance. And this is what I want to show to you, the beautiful white blooms which can only be visible and be noticed during the night time. Also, if we can notice here that the flower blooms have now become very elongated, where the whole of the inflorescence seems to become more longer and more blooms. And this is one of the uniqueness that I find, that a constant blooming cycle is available.